Hello, hola, bonjour. Tune in every Tuesday to the Dear God podcast.
¿Y qué pasó?
Nah, we talking like it's 1995. Let go of that Wi-Fi. Let's laugh and cry, but never say goodbye. Que lo que, and welcome, bienvenidos to the Dear God, Are We There Yet? The podcast con tu prima favorita. Soy Alicia Sanchez, and yes, this podcast is bilingual, semi-bilingual. I don't know, I speak Spanish here and there sometimes. Ahora vamos a comenzar. But before, I want to talk to you a little bit about what the Dear God is in this context if you're new to my channel. Dear God, in this context, for my movement is whatever or whomever you want it to be. It can be the universe, religious God, Buddha, self, nature, lo que sea para ti. Dear God, Are We There Yet? Is a lifestyle community of question seekers. The goal is simple: to empower thought-provoking conversation, share happiness, and encourage each of us to never stop asking questions and having conversations that matter. The power of helping people help people with one conversation at a time. Why? Because we need it. Our friends and family need it, and the world needs it. Ya tu sabe. Don't forget to check out the YouTube channel where I talk about self-growth, budgets and business, and passion to empower. Okay. Vamos a hablar like it's 1995. Wow, this is a special week because, as you all know, it's Mother's Day and coming up, and I decided to do this podcast today. Yes, you're stuck with me this week, but we have an amazing show coming up next week and the next following weeks. I hope you guys are enjoying our guests. I'm learning a lot, and you're probably learning a lot. And if you're not, share and tell us what you think about the podcast. And if you want to be on the show, you know what to do. So I want to talk about this week, mothers, y la madre. And for me, Mother's Day it's every day. I mean, literally, because I am one of those that I talk to my mom literally 50 times a day, 500. I think Mondays now, she doesn't really talk, like, she doesn't call me as much because I'm like, Mommy, it's Monday, Mondays are kind of crazy. But if I don't hear from my mom, I have to pick up the phone, text her, call her, whatever it is. She's not on social media or anything, so I can't, like, DM her and be like, hey, no tu ta, But overall, I definitely feel like I need to talk to her. And I've always been close with my mom growing up. I mean, I feel like my mom and moms, I don't know about you guys, but, moms, grandmas, nanas, mimas, whatever we call them, they hold something special in our families, and aunts and godmoms, and they hold something like this power. It's like a glue. It's something very powerful without them even knowing. And to me, I call it's like a superwoman power. And I asked my friends I sent them cards for the holiday, my mommy friends, and I asked them, what is your superpower? And so I want to talk about today a time about, time about a mother and what that means, and the time of her timelessness. And I really want to dig deep, and I want to share something with you guys. And there's just 3 instances where it makes you, if you've lost your mother in the past, my condolences will always go out to you, and my prayers are with you. And this might be a very difficult time for you, but hopefully you find a little memory, you going down the memory lane as you hear me speaking about a time about a mother. And this podcast is all about that, is the joyfulness of motherhood. And one day when I become, when I have a child where I could, they can call me mommy and mama, I will be able to, have this wish granted the way that mothers, they receive it. It's kind of like the dream of all dreams, is be able to not just raise a child, because that is always a chore in itself, because it's hot out there sometimes, but also that love, that unconditional love, and teaching them. So if you've lost a mother, or someone who have during this time, really reach out to them, because yes, we should always reach out to people, and I know I try to make a conscious decision to do it, but definitely during these times is when we want our support. We want people that love us to remind us and to look back and and laugh, and just laugh and reminisce and just be in awe and and take those amazing things from our mother. So, I kind of want to talk to you guys about that our mothers or women with these women superpowers that are mothers, they don't necessarily have to be your biological mother. They don't have to be someone who, that you're in their tummy for you to feel that bond. And I want to talk a little bit about that. When I was in third grade, I'll never forget Mrs. Austin from Banning Creek. And she was like my school mom. And have you ever connected with someone where even when you were younger or even as an adult, and I hear this all the time, they're like, oh, that's my mother from, that's my mother from from another world, or whatever they say it. And you connect with these people in such a way where you do feel like a maternal, like they are your mother. They're there for you. They care for you. They want nothing for the best for you. And sometimes we forget about these people, and not forget about them, but sometimes we look at the word mother and we say, okay, what is the definition of mother? A mother is not just someone who gives birth to you. Or a mother is not just someone who has your same DNA. And so Mrs. Austin, third grade, I would, now as an adult, I call her my school mom. She literally was my school mom, and she changed my life, in the sense that she saw something in me and knew that it was her business, and she was a mother of children, about my age or so, or a little older, and she saw something and she took me under her wing and introduced me to ESOL classes, told my mom, like, it's okay. Her daughter doesn't have developmental issues. She just, needs help in her English, and she just needs that extra love and tender love and care with education. And so I look back during these times, and these are the pivotal women in my life that I look back and I say, she was my mother. She was my mother at that time, and school mother. And we need to do that a little bit more. We need to think about all these amazing people in our lives, especially the women that really took us like our mothers, and they helped us, they molded us and taught us certain things at certain parts of our lives to say, wow. So, this Mother's Day, or every Mother's Day, because it just shouldn't just be one holiday. I feel like it should be every single day, right? We should give our mothers the love we have, take her out to brunch with avocado toast and lots of champagne, maybe every other Sunday, right? Or every Sunday if we can. But as we grow older, we reflect on this bond either with them or trying to connect with them, and things change. Everyone's upbringing is so different. So I wanted to talk a little bit about this, who else in your life is a mother, and that molded you in one time of your life. I mean, it could be like your freshman year in college and you had like an RA that was like your mom, or you had the bus driver that took you to school. She was like, pon atención hoy, no te ponga, like don't mess up, don't, do good. And these are women that they're our mothers. And when our own mother might not be there at, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days, 24 hours, whatever, these women are amazing people in our lives in society. And they do good deeds without anybody telling them. They care about it. I mean, so for me, it was Mrs. Austin, my school mom, my third grade teacher. And reflect today when you listen to this podcast and think about the women and don't wait till Mother's Day, like reach out to them, find them. I need to figure out how I can find Mrs. Austin, and I've been thinking about it for a while, because this woman, just every time I think about writing something or English or whatever it is, I always think of Mrs. Austin. Which brings me to our own mother, of course. A lot of people, I've been reading and looking at things, and a lot of people don't have relationships with their mother. Probably when they probably had it out of childhood, but they don't have it as an adult, or they have it as an adult, and vice versa. And it's that connection. And sometimes we lose it, sometimes we gain it, sometimes it grows. And I would have to say, for me, I grew up in a very strict home, and which I absolutely appreciate now. But I look back and I think of, the no ballet boundaries when I think about my own mom, and how when I was a kid, I was the only girl growing up, and how my mother, I don't know how, and these are things that I tell people all the time, like, and she's still that way now. I don't have no idea how she would come up with, the money sometimes to pay for these ballet, shoes, or these lessons, or to drive me. And it's these superpowers, and that all the moms have. And I really want to know what that superpower is. And I think it's something that you just get, and it's innately, it just happens, it's like a mama bear. But, moms have this incredibly no boundaries when it comes to their children, and they want the best for their children. And even all moms have some type of their life that they might struggle in the beginning or middle, because no one's perfect. And so I want to take some time out for you guys to just, as you're listening to this podcast, and I know this podcast, today's show, is completely different from what I usually talk about, but I feel like it's really, really important to kind of hone in on some things that it's like a flash by. It just goes and that's it. It's another day. We're going to order flowers, going to give her a card. Ya, se tato. Le doy a la madre, okay. Le voy a dar un sancocho. Le voy a decir Happy Mother's Day. I love you, Mom. And that's it. And then Monday comes and that's it. And reflecting that it's more than that, and reflecting the boundaries of your past, your present, and your future. And it's so freaking hard. We've all been there, where we've been upset with our mothers, and we're, we don't want to talk to them. We're tired and through with them. We have arguments with them. A lady said to me the other day, they go through, she said that, she's been through her I hate you phase with her daughter at one point. And it's crazy, because as you grow older, you either connect more with your mother, or you try to figure out, why was your mother this way, or why you're this way, because you're trying to figure out yourself out, right? That's how it is. And there's no boundaries. I mean, there's no boundaries to, there's a lot of elements of love, and there's forgiveness in love, and there's trust in love, and there's so many things out there. And evaluate what your boundaries are, not only for your mother or the women in your life, but the reasons behind it, and the emotion behind it, and take some time to work on that for you, if that's something that you want to do. But these are just things that pop in my mind that I really wanted to talk about today, because I want to spark the conversation for you to have with a woman in your life that is a mother, or is a mother to you. Again, does not have to be by blood or DNA or birthing you, which brings me to my last time, a moment in time with a mother, that these labels that we have in society really mess up the emotional connection sometimes, like, who cares if they, why can't we just say parents, or just moms? Why does it have to be stepmother, or adoptive parents, or surrogacy mom, or whatever the case is, or like, if she's a mother to you, call her mom, call her mother. And I never understood this, and maybe it's because I don't have a step parent, and I don't have those front names and behind them. But at the end of the day, even if you're a pet mom, I would say, here you go, you're a mom. You take care of an animal every single day. You give it love. You cherish it. You give it time. You're a mother. And so think about the labels that we use, and how that, makes others feel. I want to talk about this, because I just love how my nieces and nephews, they treat my brother's wife. And no, she's not the biological mother, but they treat her with so much love and respect, and it's a two-way street, and she treats them with love and respect, and they're feeding off of that. And it's so beautiful to see unfolded, that there's so many mixed family dynamics in this world that can work and that do work. And so I just want to talk a little bit about that and just say that let's reevaluate. If you know someone that, I don't know, and I just lost my train of thought. By looking at my notes, I lost my train of thought. My point is, let's get rid of these extra labels and just know that love is what it is. Just like animals and Mother Earth and Mother Nature, and that's basically it. I want to talk about this time about with motherhood and mothers and women, and then I want to talk about something that might be controversial for some about same marriage and how two fathers and how they can never be the mother, or a mother can never be a father. And many people might think very different about this entire subject, but I will say this: a child needs good values and love. And no, I don't have children yet, but I will say from what I've learned as me as a human, as an adult, and reflecting on my past and how I was raised, love is so important. And so we all have our views and we have our own definitions of what we think about, same-sex marriages or parenting or whatever the case is. And there's a lot of opinions out there. And of course, like I said, this podcast is for everyone. I respect, but I feel that love conquers all. As cliche and, mundane that sounds every day, love conquers all. And I feel that with love, it doesn't even matter anymore because a man can love and be there for his son or daughter and give him that love and respect and good values. So back to my controversial of, men and women. This day is for the women in our lives. And in a couple months, June will be men in our lives that act as a mother or a father or whatever you want to call it. I lost my train of thought for some reason. I have no idea why. I guess that's the beauty of this podcast, right? That it's not perfect, and I don't want it to be perfect because I'm not perfect. Anyways, I want to leave you with this one last thing: was celebrate not only this for today, for Sunday, but celebrate it every day, and try to make a conscious decision to celebrate it every day, and to think about the reason behind it. And if you haven't spoken to your mother, or, if it's something you don't have a connection with them at this point, that's something that maybe you will want to work out in the future. Maybe you won't. Maybe it doesn't serve you. Doesn't serve you in your life. Maybe it's not a good, juju for your life. But look at all the women that have helped you and that are like your mothers, just like my Mrs. Austin in 3rd grade, who helped change a lot in my life. And there's a lot of women like that in my life as well. So to nanas, abuelas, mamas, mommies, mimas, nanas, did I already say nanas? whatever you call her, happy Mother's Day. And until next time, with Dear God, Are We There Yet? We're going to have an amazing, continue our, series with talking with different people with questions that we ask the universe. So tune in next week, every Tuesday, on the Dear God, Are We There Yet? The podcast. And if you want to be on the show, go ahead and email us at hello@deargodarewethereYet.com. Until la próxima, talk to you later and have an awesome day.